In this video, I want to talk to you all about how to start an entrepreneurial path, our journey, our business. Let's call a spade a spade. Right now, everybody wants to be entrepreneurs. There's essentially an entrepreneur revolution going on where there's so much opportunity out there and so few barriers to entry. But also at the same time, entrepreneurs are seen like celebrities. If you went back 20 years ago and you talked about celebrities, you talk about movie stars, you talk about fucking musicians and bands. But now, you also talk about the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk. Those businessmen, those entrepreneurs are seen as celebrities. And so that's made it all the more exciting to be an entrepreneur. So there's so many people wondering, how do you become an entrepreneur? What's the first step? How do you get started? And for me, if I'm encouraging anybody, if I was talking to anybody that's encouraged to get into the space, the key thing I'd say is take your time. And that's not what anybody wants to say. There's so many people professing get rich quick and create a business overnight, and that just does not happen. And if you follow that path, you'll lose your life savings. You'll probably lose your reputation with a lot of friends and followers around you. So the first key thing is take your time. Do a bit of self-work. The interesting thing about entrepreneurship is that people work with people. And so it's actually very, very important that you are a person. You're thought out. What you do has reason behind it, because ultimately people will want to work with people. And if you're following the normal path that everybody else is or does, if you aren't you, but instead you are the shape of your environment, are the wants of your friends and family around you, there's nothing to connect with. There's no difference. There's no unique selling point in you. So that's my second bit of advice. My first, take it slow. My second, prioritize yourself. In terms of an age of self-discovery, get in touch with yourself. Do some travel, take on new experiences, work a load of shitty jobs. You'll get a very, very quick idea of what you want and what you don't want. And also how to work with people, how people will be appreciated being treated and how definitely not to treat people. Now, hopefully after a bit of travel, hopefully after a bit of new experience, you'll have an idea of an area that you want to get into. And the key thing is not jumping into that area and setting something up yourself, but actually serving an apprenticeship. People don't talk enough about serving apprenticeships under entrepreneurs, but that's my absolute advice, and that's my third key kind of tip to impart. Serve an apprenticeship under an entrepreneur that you admire and that you feel that you will learn a lot from. And how to do that is relatively straightforward. Throw yourself in front of them. Don't look for a wage, just throw yourself in front of them and say you will do whatever it takes to learn under them, and let them know that your objective isn't to earn off them, but it's to learn off them. And you'll be amazed at the doors that open up provided you are actually putting yourself in front of them. And further down the line, you will be absolutely blown away by what you've learned. So that is absolutely key. When it comes to then the point that you've learned so much, you've built a wealth of experience, a wealth of contacts, you've seen what not to do, and you've absolutely seen what to do, and perhaps spotted your opportunity. Well, that's when it's time to get started. But remember, and the fourth kind of bit of advice that I would give when it comes to realizing a business ambition, is that realizing a business ambition or working is thinking first, doing the research first, planning, strategizing, doing all that first, and then getting stuck in and doing. So oftentimes when people think of following an entrepreneurial pursuit, they think that work is doing, and it's not. It's planning, it's strategizing, it's researching. And once you've done all that and you've refined your plans to a point, those plans essentially tell you what to do in the most seamless, successful fashion. Rather than what unfortunately happens was a lot of people don't do that planning. They jump into their business ambitions. And unfortunately, because they're not that thought out, they make every simple mistake the hard way. Unfortunately, I'm speaking from experience in that regard. So please take it from me. Don't go through the same journey that I had to. But instead, plan things out, strategize, do the research. And also, if you've done the apprenticeship beforehand, you'll have all the contacts. You'll know the most efficient route to market. And that's how I would get started if I was doing the whole journey again. And that's the advice I'd impart to you now in watching this video.